leadership and influence. I'd like to first start off with asking you a simple question. Can you benefit from more yeses in your life? Raise your hand if your life would be improved by having more yeses. Okay, excellent. And that's a pretty simple statement. And that word, yes, very small, but powerful. So I'm going to ask your indulgence. We don't know each other very well, but I'm going to ask that you trust me. If you would close your eyes for just a moment. I promise your wallets and purses will still be there when you wake up. If you would just think about a specific area of your life where if you had more yeses, there would be definite difference and improvement. Your marriage, your relationship with your children, your coworkers, your peers. Think outside the box. Your mechanic, your tax preparer. How different would your life be? What specific differences in any of these areas would be in your life just by a simple increase in yeses? Let's take it to the workplace. What about your boss, your supervisors? Or maybe you are the boss. So what about your team? The people who work for you and with you. And yes, of course, the all-important clients. If you had a level of increase in the yeses in your life, what improvements would be made? How much difference would your life be? Let that land. Okay, and now come on back to the present. And I hope you've grabbed one specific idea. Now, I'm going to share something with you, and then I'm going to ask a couple of you to share with me if you don't mind. But while you're going through this exercise, and I see this often, I can see your faces lifting. Smile starts to come. You can see shoulders start to drop and rest because you're actually experiencing something in the future tense based on an improvement in your life, so it actually directly affects what you're thinking and feeling right now. And Lieutenant, I'm going to ask you specifically because your shoulders actually propped up. So you had some feeling of empowerment somewhere, and I want to know what that was about. Okay? But that's the importance and the power of getting yeses. Can I get a couple of people who want to share what you were thinking about on the yeses? Now, we're not talking about 10 times more yeses, 10% more. How different could your life be? My assumption is that you were visualizing how different that would be. That's powerful. It's powerful. Those are three very important statements, and I'm sure everybody here has something else important, but in the interest of time, we're going to move past it, but I will gladly talk to you about it afterwards. If you want more yeses in your life, it's really simple. To get more yeses, you need to have more influence. If you have a greater degree of influence, you can increase the level of yeses in your life. Are you in business? Everybody here is in business of some sort? Hey, if you're in business, you're in sales. And if you're in sales, you're in the leadership game. The only question is, how hard are you playing? And if you're in the leadership game, folks, leadership is the language of influence. So if you want to get more yeses in your life, you need to master influence. Mastery over influence comes from leadership. And that's what we're going to talk about for about the next 20 minutes or so. See, my name is Jim Padilla, and with my wife and partner, with Gain the Edge is our leadership company, we focus on turning the leadership industry upside down, basically revolutionizing the industry. We don't do things traditionally. We basically meet people where they're at, and we help uncover the leader within. Because I personally believe that leadership qualities are in everybody. But most people, we just don't see ourselves as a leader. So we don't act accordingly. And we let other people take the lead. And we put other people in position to make decisions that we should. And leadership is not about telling people what to do. It's not about showing people what to do. It's about becoming the person that people will follow willingly. That's where true influence is gained. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and why I'm even relevant in this conversation, why I should be here speaking to you at all. I started in 1969, and I was born in an orphanage in the Bronx in New York in 1969. My mother was 16, my father was 17. They had no business having a child. Thank God they did. But they had no business in that conversation. But it was an accident, right? Basically came about, surprised everybody. My dad freaked out, left. Understandable. 17-year-old, no clue. I wasn't ready for that. My mother did the best she could with what she had. We struggled. We were on welfare. We did all the typical broken home mistakes. Everything went wrong. My mom abused me at every turn. Violence was a part of our life. My first early childhood memory was when I was 4 years old in the Brooklyn projects in H Street, and I was being ganged on by 3 kids. I was 4, they were 7, 8, and 9. They were beating me up and shoving dirt in my mouth, and according to my mom, I was almost dead. My mom went to each one of their mothers and said, if that ever happens again, there's 3 of them, they're twice his age. Ever happens again, I'm going to come here and I'm going to do to you what they did to him. You see where the story's going. It happened again. Due to her work, my mother went to each one of these women, put the wood on them, and threw me in the car, and we took off and moved to California the next minute, never to be seen again. So I had early exposure to the fact that life was rough and that things had to be handled on your own. That was the lens that I saw the world through. We went through a lot of this. I got abused. My mom was she was an emotional energy person and no wisdom and guidance in her life. Anytime she had energy and anger to distribute, it came through whatever was in her hand. I got hit with a lot of things. And you guys may remember those belts, those leather belts in 1970s where they had your name engraved in them, you know, the ones that you got for Christmas presents. Well, I used to go to school with my mother's name on my legs and on my butt a lot because I got those whippings. And it was always me running out of the way, so I got them on my legs more than on my butt most of the time. But I was thankful for the days with the belt because otherwise it was a broomstick or a baseball bat or a plate. That was just life as I knew it. When I was 10 years old, I made a decision. I got in trouble. My mom sent me to my room, and I decided at that moment that I was done letting her hurt me. And I told myself, turning off the switch, there will be no more pain. And I basically bent over, I grabbed, braced, and she hit me. And the harder she hit, the more still I stood. And it made her mad, and it kept going until finally she just quit. I protected myself from pain, but the challenge was that the same skills and tools required to feel pain are also what's required to feel love, hope, fear, joy. I turned it all off. So from 10 years old, for the next 20 plus years of my life, I was on a journey of learning a lot of things the hard way and doing a lot of things that I really shouldn't have and didn't need to do. See, if you reach out and touch a stove, you get a quick sensory and you pull back. If you didn't have that sensory, you would lay down on the stove and do serious damage. So you can imagine if that analogy was put into your life, right? I came across warning signs, brushed them to the side. I ignored what most people would see as obvious pain coming, and I kept doing things the hard way and learning a lot of mistakes. I was summa cum laude graduate of School of Hard Knocks, and I had to get out and figure things out. See, on my 18th birthday, after I went through years of tumultuous times with my mom, and I was in and out of foster care, and on my 18th birthday, I was still in school somehow and pursuing a baseball scholarship. I came to my mom on my 18th birthday and said, Mom, I want to come home. February, I got 4 months. Let me just straighten some things out, get my scholarship, and I'll be out of your way. And I stood on her doorstep. She shut the door. She said, you got yourself into this, you're going to have to get yourself out. And on the day I turned 18, I realized right there, standing in the rain on my mother's doorstep, that if it is to be, it is up to me. And I had this weird perception of life, realizing at the time that anybody could hurt you, because that was the only experiences that I had, and that the only people who can protect you are you. So I had a lot of misguided information and input, but I knew there was something more, and I had a big, huge hole in me to fill. So I started craving information. I happened to cross a Tony Robbins seminar at age 19. Changed my life forever. I realized that people can speak into your life. People can make a difference, and it doesn't have to be your mom and dad. I was going to seminars, buying tapes, yes, tapes, 8 tracks even, tapes, and I had every kind of audio material I could get. I would go to seminars. I became a devout student of John Maxwell. I read every book John Wooden ever read, and any place I could find him to see him speak. In California, I went. I started learning that there are ways to influence other people. There are ways to speak into people's life that can inspire them to do great things, to make changes in their life for the better, for their own best interest. And it was an art form. You needed a skill set to do it. I had the passion. I was so broken inside that the one thing that could restore me was seeing that other people could be helped. But the thing that I was missing was I didn't have enough of it inside of me to give away. So I basically became a conduit. I started filling up myself with so much information that for the sole purpose of passing it through. So I started working on the conduit. I wanted to make the conduit big, wide, clear, and clean so that as much information could pass through me to other people as humanly possible. And as a student of John Maxwell, a couple of things that I learned, and I call them the pillars of leadership. John Maxwell calls them the non-negotiables. To be a leader, you must have vision. Vision, passion, energy, and inner peace. Vision is a very confusing word because a lot of people mistake vision for clarity. Excuse me, vision for sight. Okay, vision for sight. And vision, as Brian Tracy defines it, is the ability to see that which is not yet in existence. Sight is seeing clearly what is right in front of you. And a visual that I've always had is from Dave Ramsey, actually put, if you were to see a pile of bricks in front of you, somebody with sight would do what they could to avoid it. Hey, there's a pile of bricks. Let me not trip over it. Somebody with no sight or vision could pick that up and do damage. It becomes a weapon. A person with vision looks at that pile of bricks and sees a castle, an orphanage, a hospital. It's all in the eyes of the beholder. Vision is essential for success in leadership. Vision is what's going to give you the passion to be able to chase that North Star, which your vision is what becomes. It gives you the energy to be able to move into other people, be able to share with other people, and be able to help you sustain on the journey. And it gives you the inner peace that comes from knowing you're on the right track, even when every common sense indicator tells you might not be. And all the people around you are telling you go another direction. Vision is vital. I'm going to tell you a story now. I've worked with a lot of companies. I've formed several companies. I've helped other people form companies. I've built lots of teams. But I have a specific story that's near and dear to my heart, and it explains, it's an example of exactly what a vision can do and how creating a culture can change by simply putting yourself in the environment and becoming somebody new and then watching everything else morph. Christian Brothers High School. I was a coach there. I've coached basketball there for 8 years. I've coached high school basketball for 20. Arco Arena has a specific connotation for the average person. Most people in Sacramento see Arco Arena and they think that's the home of our lovable Knicks, our Kings, the other K word, our lovable loser Kings. But if you're a high school basketball player, it is where dreams are made. It's where legends are born. See, if you're a high school basketball athlete, you want to play at Arco Arena because that's where section titles, NorCal champions, and state champs are crowned. Most kids have sight of Arco Arena. I want to go to Arco Arena. That would sure be nice to play at Arco Arena. Winners have visions of hitting winning game shots at Arco Arena at the buzzer. My friend and I, Ron Goley, we took over Christian Brothers High School coaching job, the girls basketball program, 2005. We walked in there, they had not won a single playoff game in 10 years on the women's side. We walked in with a 5-year plan, laid it down in front of the AD, athletic director, the principal, and the president, and said, we have a 5-year plan. We're going to be Arco section champions in 5 years. They were all in love with the idea, but most people thought we were just crazy. They thought, what are these guys talking about? So we decided this is what we're going to be our life mission. We started sharing this vision with everybody and anybody who will listen. We had t-shirts made that said Arco or bust. Again, to a group of kids who have never won a playoff game. And the particular group we're in were never even in one. We said, we're going to Arco Arena, folks. You're coming on board. Get on the train or get run over by it, but that's where we're going. We set out in the 1st of June as soon as school ended, and we sold everybody a message. We bought t-shirts. We had banners made with the brackets all done up with Christian Brothers on the championship spot on the bracket with the date and time, because we already knew what time the game was scheduled for, that we planned on playing in at noon on March 1st in 2005, and we were going to be section champs. Some people left. Some people decided we were crazy and we don't want to no part of it. Other people stuck around to say, what if? What if? So it became the battle cry, Arco or bust. That's what we were going to do every single day, Arco or bust. Are we working at a level that's of a team that's worthy of playing at Arco? Are we working at a level of a team that deserves a state championship? Am I leading from a place of a winner? Am I doing everything I can to raise my level, much less what everybody else can do? We did everything we could every single day. We bought tapes, CDs, DVDs, went to clinics, went to camps. We put ourselves out there. We spoke faith and belief into kids. We talked greatness into kids who had no idea that it even existed inside of them. We helped people see what they couldn't see in themselves, and we helped all the other kids see it in each other. After a while, kids started showing up early. They started staying late. They started getting personal trainers and nutritionists and strength coaches because they wanted to be a part of this vision. People want to be a part of a winner. People want to be a part of something big. So as we carried this out, more people bought in. Parents started volunteering. Parents started offering, how can I help? I want to be a part of this thing too. Kids started going to study groups because they were trying to help every kid on the team, and all the way down to the freshmen, and help them build and esteem themselves through this greatness of our program. You can see where this is headed, folks. Fast forward 9 months to March 1st on that Saturday afternoon, that noon tip up. We went in there as the underdog against the defending state champs. We were up by 27 points at halftime, ended up winning that game by 11 points. Section champs, cutting down the nets around our neck. You bet. It was awesome. It was an amazing experience, but not something that other people hadn't done. What made that experience so magical was it was the beginning of a new culture that was changed. Ever since that day, Christian Brothers girls basketball is now favored. I'm not there. The coaching staff that made that change, all those kids who were in that group, my daughter included, they've all graduated college. Most of them went on to play college. Now there's a line. There's a waiting list for kids to get into Christian Brothers High School because they want to be part of something big. In the preseason rankings, Christian Brothers is favored. They're expected. If they don't go to Arco Arena, it was a failed season. It's Arco or bust as a battle cry for the school now. Culture changed. It now became the expectation. And it started with a couple of crazy guys who had enough faith to believe that we could make a difference. And then we found people around us and convinced them that they could do the same. What is in your life, in your business, in your family, in your sales experience? What can you do to change the culture? What difference can you make to the people around you where the presence and how you show up every single day can make enough difference for other people that they want to be a part of what you're doing, because everything you do matters and everything you say has impact. You know when to listen, you know when to speak, and you know how to move with authority. Right? David Starr Jordan says, the world stands aside and lets pass any man who clearly knows where he's going. Or in a crowd where everybody's mingling and mixing, and somebody comes through and people step aside because this guy knows right where he's going. The part that's missing from that statement is as this person walks through, the crowd closes behind and follows in suit because they want to be a part of something that's big. And when somebody's moving with that kind of purpose, everybody wants to be on board. So how can you make that difference for you? What are the changes in your life that you can make to become the leader that you know you should be, that you are called to be? Folks, let me put you on the spot right now. You are called to make a difference. You're not on this spot. You're put on this planet to take up space. You're here to make a difference for good. You're here to make a difference, help lead people to make decisions in their own best interest so that they can make a difference in the world that they subscribe to. Our goal, my goal as a business owner, a trainer, and a leader is to change the world through people like you. If I can help you make the significant changes in your world, then I've indirectly caused great things to happen for so many other people. And I don't even get to see the waves crash, but I get to create the ripple on this side that led to the wave crashing on the other side of the world or in the next generation. And I believe it. I see it happen every single day. Henry Ford said, the only people who can change the world are those crazy enough to think that they can, and I am one of them. Are you? Are you? That's the question before you right now. So what I would like to do is I'm going to pass this out here. This is a quick leadership assessment, and I'm going to walk you through this in just a moment. What this is just some questions that you can ask yourself to determine what game are you playing? Where are the holes that might be missing? Look at yourself, basically hold up the mirror and see what you can do. See what you're doing right now, what needs to be done better. Excuse me. Okay, so again, the non-negotiables as determined, call them the 4 pillars, right? Vision, passion, energy, and the inner peace. The inner peace that comes from knowing that you're on the right track. Okay, and that's important. The key qualities that you want to look at for yourself is knowing yourself. How well do you know yourself? How clear are you? How sure are you of what you're doing, right? John Maxwell calls that reality. Reality. Changing yourself. Responsibility. Okay? Do you possess the ability to change yourself? Can you make changes on the fly when needed? Can you make adjustments that need to be made? Are you able to see changes can be made in yourself and in others? Accepting yourself. This is a big one. Maturity. You have to understand that you have limits. And what you don't do well, surround yourself with other people who do. Right? Fine-tune your strengths, delegate your weaknesses, and find synergy with people who can help bring out those strengths even greater in you. And find the people that you can help and inspire them to pull out the greatness inside of them. Forgetting yourself. Big one. This is understanding that as a leader, it's not about you. See, we knew that in order to change the culture, we needed the buy-in of everybody else. What were 2 crazy coaches going to do? We can't win a championship. We need a bunch of hungry girls and participating parents and a supportive school staff and everybody who bought into a vision and a dream that we could help them all aspire. That 2006 class that graduated, we had 7 girls go on to college scholarships. And that became the norm. We started putting kids out of that school every single year who were aspiring to college scholarships and great levels of success because of what they saw in themselves and what they were able to contribute to the whole. Because we stood before them and helped them believe in themselves that they could actually achieve it. Motivate yourself. This is, I call originality. Because you have to know what it takes to get you moving to the next level. Everybody responds differently to different input. You have to know who's that go-to person that you can call to get yourself motivated. It doesn't always come from within. It's knowing where to go. Where's the source? Do you have that favorite Tony Robbins video? Like for me, I love that Will Smith success video. 9 minutes of absolute pure joy for me. I watch that thing once a week because it's me on a high. That guy is immensely motivating and successful, and I love what he does. And I resonate with his message. Who is the person you go to? Who's that go-to message that can get you up when you've had a bad day? Because leaders, you can't afford to sit around and feel sorry for yourself. It's time to make a difference. Okay? The feedback that you want to be giving yourself when you make a mistake, when something doesn't go right, what worked, what didn't, and what next. Not, oh, poor baby, and what's wrong with me, and what's wrong with them. The blame game doesn't matter. And that includes blaming yourself. Blaming yourself gets you nowhere. Hey, nobody likes a bully, and we bully ourselves better than anybody else. Hey, make sure that you understand it's not about you. It's about the people you're influencing and the people that you're helping. Owning yourself. This is about accountability. This is owning your results. This is knowing that you are direct control of what you do. Okay. I used to work for a financial manager named Cliff Lynch when I was in mortgage. And he supported me. He gave me a lot of resources and assets. I ran his office and his team. I ran 60 loan officers. He would sit with me and say, Jim, here's your goals, and here's your numbers, and here's what's got to happen for you. I'm here to support you in any way I can, but if I give you nothing, you still own your results. Deal? I said, deal. Meaning, go do it and make it happen, and he'll do what he can. If it is to be, it is up to me. Make sure you understand that you own your results no matter what, and people see that, and it shows up authentically. And you make a difference in people's life. Integrity is a big one. Selling yourself. If you get 1 through 6 and you cannot sell yourself, it won't matter. Selling yourself is the ability to sell your message. It's the ability to lead people. It's the ability to show people that what you do matters. It's the ability to stand behind your message even if nobody else is listening. You want to be able to influence people to make decisions in their own best interest. And then you will get more yeses. You will help them to get more yeses. Right? That's the secret ingredient, right? The silver bullet. It's not about helping other people. It's not about you getting more yeses. It's about helping other people get more yeses. If I can help you, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a yes from you. Right? So make your purpose and your mission about selling your message to others and helping others sell their message. Do what you can to be an influencer. Be a focused and primary concern of becoming a master influencer and a motivator. You want to make the changes in your life. You want to get the yeses in your life so that you can make that difference, so that your level of results can go up, the quality of your life can go up, your relationships can get stronger and better. Master the game of influence. Master it. Find a mentor who understands the leadership game better than you do, or can look at you and determine the flaws in the areas where you can fill in the gaps. Somebody can look at your gaps, help fill them in. It's going to elevate you. And that little bit of difference is going to make all of the impact in the world. It's going to elevate your game, put you in a place where you have mastered influence and you get more yeses in your life, and everything changes for you. So what I'd like you to do is rate yourself in each one of these particular areas just on a scale of 1 to 10. Go with your gut instinct. Just whatever number comes up first. Don't analyze it and overthink it. Okay? Your ability to check yourself. Your ability to deal with change effectively. Right? Your ability to deal with criticism. As a leader, oh yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when and how much. You will be criticized. The moment you step out in leadership in front of anybody, you're putting yourself in firing line. Your ability to handle disappointment, because it will come. And the better you handle it with, the better your team's going to be able to respond. You're going to show up like a champ. Okay? Own your results, your ability to motivate yourself, and your ability to enroll people. You have to be able to enroll people into your vision with your passion and your belief. Hey, there's a rating schedule on the bottom here. We're running a little bit short on this, so feel free to check that out. Every area of this scale tells you that you are a leader. There's nothing on here that doesn't say you're a leader. It says you may not recognize it. You may not be utilizing it. Use the force for good, not evil. Make sure that you're maximizing your leverage as a leader. And get with a mentor who can help guide you there, whether myself or anybody else. But I highly recommend it so they can hold up a mirror to you, fill in those gaps, and help you get moving forward. Now remember, leadership is not about telling people what to do, not about showing them what to do or how to do it. It's about becoming the person that they will follow willingly. It's not about doing, it's about becoming. I thank you for your time, and go change the world. The Toastmaster.